Everyone went silent. Jungkook's unexpected action on stage left the audience shocked. Hello ARMY. And welcome back to Pop Update, the channel where every story about BTS is not just news, but a heartfelt journey filled with emotion, meaning, and love. Tonight, we're talking about something extraordinary. A moment that froze an entire stadium, shook millions of armies around the world, and reminded everyone why Jungkook is not just an idol. He's an artist with a soul that shines through every note. During his latest concert, something completely unexpected happened. Something that no one, not even the production crew, could have predicted. And when it did, every single person in the audience went silent. What really happened on that stage? Why did Jungkook's sudden action bring tears, silence, and awe to thousands of fans? Tonight, we'll take you there, to the moment when silence itself became music. The magical beginning. That night, the sky above the stadium sparkled like an ocean of stars. Below it, thousands of ARMY bombs shimmered in perfect harmony, painting the arena in shades of purple light. Then, the lights dimmed. The crowd erupted. And in the middle of that glowing sea, Jungkook appeared. ARMY! Are you ready? He shouted. And the entire stadium roared back like a thunderstorm. It was the night everyone had been waiting for. The next chapter in Jungkook's solo tour, following his record-breaking Golden album. He started with 3D, followed by 7, and Standing Next to You. Every step was sharp, every note crystal clear. And his charisma filled the stage like a wave. But as the concert went on, something about that night felt different. There was a strange, beautiful energy in the air, as if the universe was preparing everyone for something unforgettable. The moment of silence. Halfway through the concert, Jungkook began performing a special acoustic remix of 7. The light softened, and the stadium turned into a sea of stillness. Then suddenly, right in the middle of the second chorus, the music stopped. Completely. No instruments. No backing track. Even the giant LED screens behind him went dark. Jungkook's microphone cut off. His dancers froze in confusion. And the audience, tens of thousands of people, fell into absolute silence. For a few seconds, nobody moved. No one screamed. No one even breathed. And then, Jungkook looked up. He smiled. A small, calm smile that somehow carried across the entire stadium. The miracle in the silence. Instead of panicking, Jungkook took a few slow steps to the edge of the stage. He looked at the crowd, took a deep breath, and started singing. No microphone. No music. Just his voice, raw, honest, and real. Weight of the world on your shoulders. I'll be there to hold you. And somehow everyone could hear him. Even without speakers, his voice floated across the stadium like wind. It wasn't loud, it was pure. It carried something deeper than sound. Fans stood frozen, tears streaming down their faces. Phones trembled as people tried to record the moment. Some clasped their hands over their hearts. It was as if time itself had stopped to listen. In that silence, Jungkook's voice wasn't just music. It was a heartbeat shared by everyone in the room. Emotions flood the stadium. A fan sitting near the VIP section later tweeted, "When the music stopped, I thought it was a mistake. But when Jungkook began singing without a mic, I realized I was witnessing something sacred." Even the backup dancers had tears in their eyes. Some of them bowed their heads, overwhelmed by the power of the moment. The camera zoomed in on Jungkook's face. His eyes glimmered, not from the stage lights, but from raw emotion. He sang the last line softly. "Every hour, every minute, every second. You know I'll be by your side." And when he finished, the stadium stayed silent for 3 long seconds. 3 seconds that felt like eternity. Then, an explosion of sound. Screams, applause, sobs. A wave of emotion so strong it seemed to shake the very ground. Armies shouted his name from every corner. Jungkook! Jungkook! Some were crying uncontrollably. Others just stood in awe, covering their faces. It was not just a performance anymore. It was history being made. Jungkook speaks from his heart. When the sound system finally came back on, the crew signaled him to continue. But Jungkook raised his hand, gently stopping everything. He didn't grab the mic immediately. He just looked at the audience and spoke softly, his voice echoing naturally. You know, sometimes when everything stops, that's when you really start to hear your own heart. He smiled again, eyes glistening. I don't want the music to come back yet. I want this moment to be just between us. Because even without sound, we can still hear each other. That sentence alone broke the crowd into tears. The lights dimmed again. And fans shouted, Jungkook Saranghi. Some hugged one another, others simply cried silently. It wasn't chaos anymore. It was connection. The world reacts. Within minutes, clips of Jungkook's silent performance went viral across social media. On Twitter, X, and TikTok. #Jungkook Silent Stage trended #1 in over 60 countries. Billboard wrote, "It's not just a performance, it's a moment of truth, a moment of connection." Rolling Stone described it as a raw, once-in-a-lifetime display of artistry. Even BBC picked up the story, calling it a rare moment where silence became the loudest sound in the room. A Korean journalist said, Jungkook doesn't just sing with his voice, he sings with his soul. After the concert, Jungkook's live message. A few days later, Jungkook went live on Weverse. His hair was still damp, his tone calm but warm. He read the comments scrolling by. Millions of hearts and crying emojis filling the screen. Then he said softly, "I was worried you'd be disappointed because of the technical problem. But when I saw everyone stay quiet, just listening, I felt like there was no distance between us." He smiled, lowering his gaze. It wasn't a perfect performance, but maybe that was the most real moment I've ever had on stage. That live became one of the most watched on Weverse that month. Comments flooded in. Jungkook, even without music, you are the music. We didn't hear sound, we heard your heart. The meaning behind the moment. Music critics later called it one of the most genuine stage moments in K-pop history. They said it revealed Jungkook's true artistry. His ability to stay calm, to turn a technical failure into something magical. A professor of music from Seoul National University said, "That's the mark of a true artist. Someone who can turn silence into part of the song." For many armies, that night carried a deeper message. That Jungkook was reminding them, even when the world is noisy, you can still find peace in silence. That night wasn't just about music. It was about trust, connection, and pure emotion. That concert will be remembered forever. Not because of its spectacular lights or stage design, but because of one moment of quiet. When Jungkook's heart spoke louder than any sound system ever could. He showed the world that true power doesn't come from perfection, but from honesty, vulnerability, and love. And for ARMY, that night became a reminder that even without words, without sound, they and Jungkook are forever connected through the heart. Thank you for watching Pop Update. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more heartfelt and emotional stories about BTS and Jungkook. Until next time, this is your host signing off. And as always,